All right, today we are diving into a really powerful philosophy on success, and it comes from an incredible speech by Denzel Washington. I'm telling you, this is going to completely reframe how you think about risk, about failure, and really what it means to live a life that's actually worthwhile. So let's get into it.
So, this is the big idea right at the center of it all. Denzel is essentially telling us to forget about playing it safe, to stop settling. He's making the case that a truly meaningful life, well, it isn't found in the comfort zone. It's found on the other side of fear, right when you decide to take a real chance.
Okay, so if we're supposed to take risks, how do we actually approach them? This is where Denzel introduces this amazing concept he calls falling forward. And it all starts by challenging the one piece of advice we've all heard a million times.
You know this one, right? Your parents, your teachers, maybe your friends, they all say it with the best intentions. Have a backup plan. Make sure you have something to fall back on. It's supposed to be this comforting safety net. But Denzel asks a really sharp question. What if that mindset is the very thing holding you back?
And here is the key difference. The usual advice, fall back. It's about retreating, right? Keeping one foot in the safe zone. Denzel's whole philosophy is the complete opposite. He says if you're going to fall, and trust me, he says you will fall, why would you fall backward? Why not fall in the direction you actually want to go? Why not fall forward?
So this is what falling forward really means. It means you stop looking at failure like it's the end of the road. Instead, it just becomes data. It's a lesson. You're learning. You're getting closer. And you know what? At the very least, you can see what's coming and you can adjust. It's an active, forward-moving process, not some panicked retreat.
So how do we actually do this? Well, to really fall forward, you have to completely change your relationship with failure. You have to develop what Denzel calls
the guts to fail.
Notice he doesn't say you might fail. He says you will. This isn't a maybe, it's a guarantee. And he's not saying this to scare you. He's actually trying to free you. Because once you accept that failure is just an inevitable part of the journey, it loses its power over you. You can stop being so afraid of it and actually start learning from it.
Let's put this into perspective. Think about the number 2,600. That is how many times the Baseball Hall of Famer Reggie Jackson struck out in his career. That is the most in the entire history of the sport. If you just looked at that number, you'd think he was a massive failure. But here's the thing. Nobody ever talks about the strikeouts. We only remember the home runs. We remember his nickname, Mr. October. His legacy is totally defined by his willingness to swing for the fences, even if it meant failing a lot. In the end, his successes completely wiped out his failures.
Or how about this one? 1,000. That's the number of experiments Thomas Edison conducted that failed while he was trying to invent the light bulb. I mean, can you imagine 1,000 dead ends?
But see, he didn't see them as 1,000 failures. He famously said he just found 1,000 ways that didn't work. Those were all just steps on the path to the one that finally did. That 1,001st attempt, it literally changed the world. You could say he fell forward 1,000 times until he finally landed on his feet. And that's really the big takeaway here. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a part of success. Every time you get a no, every misstep, every time you fall flat on your face, it's actually progress. It's a lesson. It's one step closer to where you want to be. Now, just to prove that this isn't all just some nice-sounding theory, Denzel shares this deeply personal story from his own life. And it's a story that proves just how far falling forward can actually take you.
So try to picture this. You're a young, hungry actor. You see the perfect role. You know you're right for it. You go into the audition, and you totally bomb. You just can't deliver because you're missing a key skill. You just plain suck at it. Well, that is exactly what happened to him. He failed, and yeah, he was embarrassed. But here's the thing. He didn't quit. He didn't fall back. He just kept going, kept preparing for the next audition and the one after that. Now, fast forward 30 years. He's starring in the play Fences on Broadway, getting rave reviews at the exact same theater where he failed that first audition. As he puts it, he just hung around the barbershop long enough, and he finally got his hair.
And this right here, this brings us to the central challenge of his whole message. See, the point isn't that Denzel is some kind of superhuman talent. The point is that he had the resilience, the guts to keep going through failure after failure. So the question he's really asking all of us is, do you? Just let that one sink in for a second. A life without any failure?
It isn't a sign of perfection, it's a sign of caution. It means you're not pushing your own boundaries, you're not thinking outside the box. It probably means you aren't taking the kinds of risks that are necessary for real, meaningful growth. And all of this leads to the final and I think most profound part of his message. Because this isn't just about your career, this is about your entire life. It's about your legacy. And it's about the ghosts that, he says, are waiting for you. He asks us all to do this powerful thought experiment. Just for a moment, picture yourself at the very end of your life. It's a pretty sobering image, I know, but it's designed to bring a kind of ultimate clarity to what really, truly matters. And as you're lying there, standing around your bed, are these ghosts. And they're not strangers. No, these ghosts are the embodiment of everything you could have been. They are that brilliant idea you were too scared to try. They are that talent you never bothered to develop. They are all of your unfulfilled potential. I mean, wow, what a devastating thought. These ghosts, they're angry, they're disappointed, because you, and only you, could have given them life. And you didn't. You chose safety instead of risk. You chose comfort over your purpose. And now, they have to die with you. So you see, it's not about how much money you make or what your job title is. The real question is about what you do with the unique gifts you already possess, your patience, your creativity, your kindness, whatever it is. It's about giving everything you've got to bring those ghosts, your potential, to life. And that is the ultimate question this whole philosophy leaves us with. It's a challenge, really. A challenge to take the risks, to embrace the falls, and to live a life so fully, so completely, that when your time finally comes, there are no ghosts left behind. That you have truly and finally fallen forward.